What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another episode of the Dossier, the Marvel Crisis Protocol show where we talk about all things Crisis Protocol characters, their cards, their miniatures, and basically where we kind of feel that they fit in the game itself. Just as a reminder, this is just sort of a basic overview of the character itself. It's not meant to be a comprehensive look. There are lots of great discussions online that you can go and check out if you want to learn more about a lot of these characters, and I highly recommend that you do. And of course, these shows can't happen without the wonderful support of all the patrons. Thank you so much for everyone who has gone over to patreon.com/AgeOfSpan and has supported the growth and survival of this channel. I can't do that without you guys, so thank you so much. And of course, thank you to everyone who has tuned in and subscribed. This week, or well, I guess today, we are taking a look at Bullseye. And this one's a really interesting one because when Bullseye first hit, he actually came out as a 3-threat character and was just rather unimpressive as a 3-threat character. And he later got changed to a 2-threat character, and it just gave him all new life. But anyway, let's take a look at Bullseye himself. And we're going to start off by just taking a look at his model here once it sort of focuses in. And he's got a very boring pose. He's got that, it was something that we were seeing a lot of in AMG's early design days. It was the, I'm a villain, I'm pointing at something. A lot of the villains had that sort of thing going on where they were just kind of posed and pointing in the general direction of whatever. Now, granted, with Bullseye, it kind of works. I mean, that is his whole shtick. He's always aiming at something. That's his target. But it's a very boring pose, unfortunately. Like, he's got his hand behind his back. He is holding on to a couple throwing knives, it's a nice little touch on his back. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on. The model itself, not a lot of details. It's the bodysuit with a couple pouches and the white gloves. He's got the bullseye on his head, obviously. I keep losing focus. Sorry about that. There's nothing really to speak of on the model that really jumps out as being fascinating. Probably one of the weaker models as far as design goes, but very easy to put together, very easy to paint. As with white, start with a gray and build your way up to a white highlight, and that's the easiest way to do it right there. But yeah, so that's the Bullseye model. As far as the card, though, let's take a look here. So you can see he's 3/3/2 for his defenses. He is 4 stamina, 2 threat, size 2, medium movement. If I recall correctly, I believe he used to have 5 stamina before he became a 2 threat. So not a huge difference right there. His injured side, as you can see, it pretty much stays the same right there. There's no changes on his defensive stats. For 2 threat, I mean, that's perfectly fine, especially considering that he's usually operating at range 4. So he's usually out of the major scrum as it is. So if you want to take him out, you do have to actually put some effort into it. And you have to move somebody up to take him out or get him within range of someone. So his first attack is a range 4 dice attack called Throwing Knife. It is a gainer, so it's always going to gain 1 power. I love the 4 dice gainers. I think that's just where they should be. Ignores cover, which really kind of nice. I think ignoring line of sight could have been interesting on this one as well, given Bullseye's whole shtick. But I mean, it's a 2-threat character. Can't be too picky there. With a wild bleed, so Bullseye has this great ability to just kind of hang back and be a nuisance in the game, which is really kind of nice. Like if he's throwing that bleed down, or if he's just at range 4, ignoring your cover, he's a way that's going to sneak up and just kind of get a nice little surprise damage on you. We have Pincushion, which is a physical spender attack, range 4, 5 dice for 4. There's no cover, and you automatically gain bleed. The target gains bleed after the attack is resolved, and it's got an automatic rapid fire without having to pay the cost. So basically, you're getting 2 Pincushion attacks off with this particular attack. For 4 power, I've always felt that it's maybe 1 power too expensive for this particular attack. But again, this is a 2-threat. He's not meant to be hyper efficient in what he does. He already does his job really well, so I can't really complain too much. So I mean, if they ever change it to 3 power, I'm totally fine with it. But even at 4 power, it's something that I'm okay with. I think it's a great attack for that one, being able to throw that 5 dice out, especially when we get to one of his superpowers here. We have an active power, hit and run for 2 power. It's an action. You immediately make a move action followed by an attack action followed by a move action. Can use it once per turn. It's a great way of getting him out of dodge. If he's gotten a little bit too close to a character or somebody's getting a little bit too close to him, this is a great way for him to, spend a little bit of power, throw out an attack and then just move back, get back onto an objective or something like that. It's a perfect ability for him. He's not too power hungry, so he usually has power for this. And then we have I Never Miss, which is reactive power for 1. This one is his bread and butter, in my opinion. This gets me so many times. After an attack made by this character is resolved, if no damage was dealt as a result of that attack, this character uses the superpower. The target character suffers 1 damage. I love this. The amount of times this has snuck 1 point of damage off one of my characters when I really didn't want it has been insane. It is just such a nice little superpower. And because his throwing knife is a gainer, you always, always, always have the power for I Never Miss. Bullseye is just the king of chip damage in this game. He is so good for that one. If you have the power to do it after a pincushion as well, you could theoretically be like doing I Never Miss on each pincushion if those 5 dice fail to do any damage for you. It is awesome. I love it. And then we have Parting Shot, which is reactive for 2. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, the attacking character suffers 2 damage, and this character may advance away short from the attacking character. So again, it's a way of getting him further out of threat range, just to kind of protect him a little bit. So yeah, that's Bullseye. I mean, he's got a very interesting kit for a 2-threat character. I think he brings a lot of interesting utility. He's a great splash into any list that. Well, I mean, he's a great splash into any list. He's made my shield roster quite a few times. He's wonderful in Criminal Syndicate. I also kind of like him in anywhere where that little splash damage just does a little bit extra for you. If you have a team that's really good at like taking away a lot of that first bit of damage, and then he can just kind of come up and finish things off. It's also like the I Never Miss is also great against those damage reduction characters, because it means that you're always kind of chipping away at them, and it's not really a huge loss of activations for it. Like, it always kind of sucks when you throw a 6 or 7 dice into a damage reduction character, and they block all but like 2 or 3 of it, and like 1 goes through, and then 1's reduced, and then 1 is, and then like 1 or 2 is blocked, and it's just like, yay. Whereas with him, it's like you don't mind doing that 1 point of damage. He just brings that chip damage down, which is really nice. Now, of course, against people who can reduce damage down to 0, it's a little bit more rough. Just don't throw Bullseye up against those ones, because he's going to have a bad day all day. But a lot of other characters, he's just really fun and good into. And he's just excellent in a lot of places because that 2-threat just fits in so nicely. So yeah, I think if you're not playing with Bullseye, definitely check him out. Like I said, I really like him in my shield roster. I've enjoyed him in Criminal Syndicate, any Criminal Syndicate really, but Shadowland Daredevil, he's really nice in there as well, because you can kind of play that long range game with the rerolls once objectives are getting involved with everything. He's a nice, safe back home objective grabber, which is really kind of good as well. So yeah, I think he's absolutely a great 2-threat character. He's probably, in my opinion, one of the best 2-threat characters even. Get a hammer on him or something like that, and you'll just watch his damage start to go up. Just because like it's sneaky. Like, you roll enough little 4 or 5 dice attacks, and eventually something is going to spike, and he's going to do some cool damage that way. So that is Bullseye, Benjamin Poindexter. Definitely leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of the character yourself, and where you think he fits into the game. And of course, we will see you next time. Happy wargaming.